Did you know there's a place in Disneyland Paris where you can eat, shop, see live music, and even go on an attraction without a park ticket? Disney Village at Disneyland Paris is excellent, and there's one thing in it that most Disney visitors don't even realize exists. You don't need a reservation, you don't need a park ticket, and you can just wander in whenever you like. It's basically the go-to spot for food, shops, and easy evenings when you don't want to commit to a big park restaurant. But one thing that's really important to know, right now, Disney Village is currently going through a huge refurbishment. Some areas have already reopened with a brand new look, while other parts are closing or being rebuilt right now. So, when you visit, you'll probably see a mix of new spaces, construction walls, and classic spots still open. The goal is a much more modern, sleeker, greener, and less dated, but more relaxed village. But during the transition, things will be ever evolving. Now let's talk about the real reason most people come here, the food. Disney Village has a great selection of dining options. Some are included in meal plans, some are your classic fast food, and some are just hidden gems. So let's break them down. First up is Five Guys, which is great if you want something filling and familiar. Burgers, fries, and milkshakes are a really reliable option after a long park day. It can be tricky to find, but it's just outside the exit of the park. Next is Earl of Sandwich, which is one of my favourites for arrival day. It's quick, fairly reasonable by Disney standards, and very easy with kids. They serve a range of sandwiches and snacks and drinks to accompany them. They feel lighter than a lot of the food in the resort, which is quite good, especially if you want to start off as you mean to go on. Then we have the Rainforest Cafe. I'm so surprised this one's still here when Planet Hollywood is gone, but it's hanging on strong. Loud, busy, and definitely an experience. It's not one for a quiet meal, but children usually love it. Interactive and an experience for sure. Then there's Rosalie, more of a relaxed French brasserie style restaurant, great if you want something calmer and a bit more grown up. And the serving hatch next to it sells croissants and coffee in the mornings, and the queue's so much smaller than Starbucks. Good to know, especially when you're trying to get into extra magic hours. Then there's Vapiano's, fresh Italian food cooked in front of you. Pasta, pizza, and risotto, a really nice middle ground between fast food and a full sit-down meal. Then there's the Royal Pub, a full English pub in the middle of Disneyland Paris serving fish and chips and burgers. It's a home away from home for Brits. Then there's McDonald's, familiar, fast and predictable, especially late at night. Disney actually closed the old one and have opened a much larger, newer one. In fact, it's the largest in Paris, which shows how important quick, flexible food options are in Disneyland Paris. Then the aforementioned Starbucks, perfect for a proper coffee, breakfast on the go, or something familiar if you're arriving late or leaving early. But be warned, it is busy, particularly in the mornings, and if you're staying at the Cheyenne or Santa Fe, you have your own one, so there's no need to go there. Next up is Billy Bob's Country Western Saloon. Tex-Mex food and live music in the evenings, and it can get surprisingly lively later on. And that live music is actually part of the Disney Village's history. In the early years, Disney Village hosted live concerts and big performances, including one by Elton John shortly after the resort first opened. Today, you'll still occasionally find live bands, DJs, and entertainment, especially in venues like Billy Bob's, or even outside in the summer months, you'll often find some live music. In the early days, there used to be a nightclub there, which has been retired too, but I'm rambling now. But Disney Village isn't just about food and entertainment. It's also home to some of the biggest Disney shops outside of the parks. The main one is World of Disney, which is basically a huge Disney store packed with souvenirs, clothes, and gifts. Recently, 2 new boutiques also opened as part of the refurbishment. Disney Style, which focuses mainly on Disney fashion and accessories with lots of spirit jerseys, bag, and trendier merchandise. And since it reopened, you can also make your own name tags in there in a couple of sizes. They also personalize other items in there as well, but I've never done that. Then there's Deco by Disney, which is all about homeware, artwork, and decoration. So things like Disney mugs, ornaments, and framed prints. And there's more coming too, because construction is currently underway for Disney Wonders, a large new merchandise stop that will be part of the village's major redesign, replacing the last 90s-style Disney store. They also have a very impressive newly refurbished Lego store, which stocks all the usual sets, not just Disney, but does have some epic big builds, including this unique one outside, which is an impressive photo spot. They honour the seasonal promotions, which was particularly strange when I saw a big Harry Potter Back to Hogwarts promotion going on in Disney Village. That just didn't feel right. Near the Lego store, you'll also find temporary pop-up shops opposite the entrance. I'm not sure what's in them right now, but historically, there's been Pandora. At one point, there was something to do with eyes in there. I don't think it was an optician's, but you never know. And if you walk towards the lake, you'll spot something that surprises most people. The Panorama Magique. It's a giant tethered hot air balloon that slowly lifts you high above the resort, giving you amazing views over the parks, hotels, surrounding countryside, and apparently you can see the Eiffel Tower as well. It's not included in your park ticket, but it's a really unique extra if the weather is clear. It's €20 per adult, and I'm not sure what the cost is for a child, but I'm guessing under €20. And there's a cinema in Disney Village too, so it works really well for arrival night, rest days, or your final evening when you don't want another buffet or a tightly planned park meal or to drag out for the fireworks. Just a quick note, because I know it will come up. Annette's Diner is an iconic Disney Village restaurant, and it is still there. It's currently closed as part of the refurbishment, and there's no confirmed reopening date yet. So it's not one to plan around for now, but it is coming back. They just left it till last. Honestly, Disney Village isn't really about big Disney magic moments. It's more about choice, flexibility, and taking the pressure off food decisions when you're at Disneyland Paris. So if you've been to DLP, I'd love to know, do you usually eat in the parks? Do you like having Disney Village as an option? Do you go there for breakfast? Or what do you look forward to doing when it's all updated? Whatever it is, drop it down below. Let me know. And that's all from DLP Uncovered. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more tips, tricks, and deep dives. And I'll see you in the parks. Or the village.